I want to say one thing. Bonsoir. Watch the movie, you'll enjoy it. You can ask me questions after if you'd like. Thank you. I signed on to the eco-adventure in 1982, but Paul's passion for sailing.
On a monté Si j'ai pas en Suisse en fin 2009, début 2010, donc ça fait un peu plus de 3 ans que ça existe maintenant. Le but à l'époque, il y avait 2 grandes raisons. C'était qu'il y avait des dauphins en captivité dans le Coneyland, qui est un delphinarium. Et la deuxième, c'est que la Suisse vote pour la reprise à la chasse à la baleine à la CBI, la Commission internationale baleinière. Et donc, on ne pouvait pas laisser faire des choses comme ça, surtout qu'on vit dans un pays où il y a une convention qui s'appelle la Convention de Berne, qui régit toutes les espèces sauvages en Europe. Et il y a beaucoup de conventions qui sont émises en Suisse, donc c'était aussi pour nous un moyen d'avoir un levier, on va dire, législatif et d'un point de vue international. Donc se battre, si j'ai pas en Suisse, on fait de la collecte de fonds pour des actions qu'on vient de voir en Antarctique ou aux îles Féroé, ou en Méditerranée, par exemple, en 2010 et 2011, on a collecté 400 kilos de nourriture végane qu'on a apporté directement sur le bateau, le Steverwin, qui était amarré en Méditerranée. Donc on a préparé la mission, on s'occupe d'aider pour toutes les préparations de campagne en Europe, et surtout d'appuyer la position de la Suisse à la Commission internationale baleinière, donc la faire changer. On a réussi, on a gagné, on a fait stopper l'importation des dauphins en Suisse grâce à Isabelle Chevalet et la Swiss Cetacean Society l'année dernière, donc en 2012. À partir de cette date, il n'y a plus aucun dauphin qui peut rentrer en Suisse.
Okay, first of all, activism is not a dirty word. Just like terrorism has become a dirty word, but that's what the governments call anybody that gets in their way. They've called us terrorists. As I said, we've never injured anyone. We've never hurt anyone. We've scared the hell out of a few people. But generally they recover. And oftentimes they turn around and join us. It has happened a number of times. So don't let people put you off by calling you an activist. An activist is a good thing. No matter, you don't have to do what I do or what Paul Watson does. You only have to take small positive steps. Taking an action is picking up a piece of paper, is telling a child something that they should know. That is being active. So you don't have to do what I do or do what Paul Watson does to be an activist. Everybody out here can be an activist. It's having passion for your cause, and if you have passion for your cause, your friends will notice. Pretty soon they'll have passion, and pretty soon you'll be running a goddamn environmental group. Then you'll want to shoot yourself. No.
About Switzerland, and not about international, but because you are...
Well, there were 30 campaigns. There were 6 driftnet campaigns, and I told it in one little story. We went to the Cocos Island 8 times. I told it in one story. It's a movie. But just about every year, I'm a volunteer, so I would try to go twice a year. And in the early days, we had no money, and we did everything we could to do as many campaigns as we could actually put fuel in the boat for. So the story is not about what happened. It's about not only that I did this, and I'm not Paul Watson, but everybody can do this. He went on the ship to Antarctica last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I don't know when he went, but he went on the ship because I saw him there. Right? Yeah. And so my feeling is this film is about how people basically, with just passion, took on an impossible task of making the world want to be green. We have now won the revolution. We as environmentalists, conservationists, animal rights people, whatever, we have to learn to govern. And the other side hasn't done a very good job governing. So I would like to tell people to think how you can get on with your other environmentalists And don't worry about what one group says or what the other group says. Worry about whether this water is fresh, whether they're going to drill for gas at the end of the lake and wreck something, whether we're going to have fish to eat. Do you know the world's greatest marine predator, the animal that eats the most fish? You might think it's sharks, maybe, or other fish. It's pigs. We feed probably 50% of the fish that is caught out there to animals. The Danish in Denmark, the chicken farms eat more fish than all the seabirds in the world. Pigs eat more fish than anything. So we as humans are killing our oceans, and we're not even getting any food out of it. We're killing our oceans because it's easy to catch them, and they're cheap. And if we want to still have oceans, they need to be healthy, they need to have seals, they need to have all those animals. And I just am trying to tell everybody that it's time for everyone to get on and try to govern. In Switzerland, you guys are lucky. You can actually change laws. In America, we're just a fake democracy. Actually, we're a republic. But we can't ever change anything. The whole government was set up not to change. But here, you can actually get things done. And I think that's a real good example to show the rest of the world. I know you have very good conservation measures with your forests, and you've got to keep your lakes. I saw this lake with all these stuff around here to have it clean is amazing. And I just want to say, way to go. Well, like I said, I'm a volunteer. I work in the...
Not you personally.
No, but I mean, I work in the... well, I work for everybody. I'm here today for Ride for the Cause. I will try to help any individual or group that is trying to do something positive that I feel I can help with. So, Sea Shepherd, it just so happens that Bob Hunter and Paul Watson were my best friends. I was in the media. If I didn't do this, I would go to hell. I mean, I didn't want to do it. I didn't say, oh goody, I get to spend every Christmas in Antarctica when I have 2 children. I didn't say, oh goody, I get to do this when I have a job. I did it because I felt that no one else was doing it, and it had to be done. And now, after 30 years, I'm one of the happiest people I know, because I did what my passion told me to do. And I think, you know, it's all worthwhile in that regard. I'm sorry, I forget your question. Sea Shepherd as a group has been in business since 1979. Paul Watson was one of the founders of Greenpeace, and in my movie, he got kicked out. Long story. You can read about it. He left Greenpeace. Actually, Bob Hunter, his best friend, threw him out. But another long story. So they founded the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society. The Sea Shepherd Society was founded on a principle of aggressive nonviolence. Meaning we understand that if anybody is hurt on our side or their side, we lose. Other than that, everything was gain. And what we were a very, very small group. At times we only had 10 people. And we'd raise all our money to get the ships out. And we would do video hits. We'd do things, and with my job, I'd get it in the press, and then people would talk about it. And then that's how we raised our money. They'd hear about it, what we do next time, they'd give us a little bit of money. We operated on almost no money for 25 years. Recently, with Antarctica, and this television show that I'm not a big fan of, Whale Wars, they've gotten more money, so they have more boats. And in my opinion, they've grown too big. But that's neither here nor there. The groups like Sea Shepherd Switzerland, Sea Shepherd Brazil, Sea Shepherd France are now operating their own groups under the same things, taking on their own problems in their own countries. And because of the name, and they have a reputation. And as far as I am seeing, just so you know, I'm not a member of Sea Shepherd. But I have traveled around to a lot of the groups, And the foreign groups, or the groups that set up their own things, are doing very well. And they're solving their own problems in their own countries with their own people. My feeling for Sea Shepherd International, Paul Watson's getting old, I'm not going to do it, is almost got to a point it's changing now. We have to come back locally and solve our problems here and get governments to accept that it's the right thing to do, not just to make commercials saying BP oil is green. BP oil isn't green. But if you ask an American, BP, the oil company, British Petroleum, has so many commercials on television saying how green they are, Americans think they cleaned up the Gulf. I mean, really, it's unbelievable. So what I'm trying to do is say to people, we have to continue working for what we're doing. Switzerland can do their thing, and there's plenty of room for everybody. Just get active, you know, get off the couch, stop talking about things, and just do things, little things. Don't drive as much, you know, talk to people, solar panels, whatever. It's just common sense, because we need to live on this planet. So Sea Shepherd continues on that. But Paul Watson's under arrest, or he's in hiding at the moment. The Japanese pretty much have Sea Shepherd in America on the run with lawsuits and stuff. So it's time to get smaller, as I was talking to him about. It's time to go back and get smaller so they can't get us with, you know, lawsuits, basically. So that's what Sea Shepherd's doing. And you can talk to him, he'll tell you what, he just told you, I think, what Swiss is doing. But there's a big French organization, and they are going, Sea Shepherd as a whole is going to Antarctica next year to try to stop the Japanese whalers from taking their 1,000 whales. Last year they only got 200 out of 1,000. And they only sold 50. That's another story. So. No, I would love the young people that I talk to stand up so I don't have to do it anymore. I would love that. And the people I meet, I find that the young people are discouraged because they think we old people screwed up things, which we did. But I also find that the only hope they have is within themselves, to become active and make sure that the earth that they are going to live on, or their children are going to live on, is going to be taken care of. And not to allow corporations or money to stop that. You cannot eat money. And there is no humanity on a dead planet. Period. Get over it. That's what I tell them. Everyone has to make their own decision what one will do. I will not in any way hurt someone or stop someone from doing something, but I will certainly put myself in the way of getting hurt. I put zodiacs in the way of harpoons. I put my body in front of clubs. But I would not, I feel, as much as I'd like to whack that SOB, we'd lose the war. I'm not in it for my ego. I'm not in it to feel good. I'm in it so my grandchildren and their children and their grandchildren will have an earth to live on that's worth living on, period. And now I can look at my children and say, I know it's bad out there, but don't blame me. And I feel good about it. And I'll keep working. You know, the older I get, the more fun I'll have, because how can you whack an old guy at 95? So I think you have to set your own limit, but you can't go over the line. You can't really break the law and hurt somebody, you will lose. It's bigger than that. You know, it's bigger than hurting one person. Or hurting the police. Or hurting, we didn't try to hurt anybody. Well, their feelings. We hurt their feelings.
Le futur nous appartient. Soyez passionnés et passez à l'action.